You know what I've realized? It has been a while since I've done a video for the ladies. So, this one's for you ladies. I figured I would teach you guys some more about dude shit and give you another example of the fucking sickness.
Ladies, has anything like this ever happened to you? Watch.
Okay, I'm just breaking in here because it's like a really long clip if I don't. And I only get it blocked in all countries, so... Hi.
It's open. It's open.
I don't go out on dates with guys who don't open the door for me.
Really?
Really?
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh, man.
That guy is fucking legend. I want to say that he's as cool as my dude Justin. And if you don't know who Justin is, you gotta check out BitChute because I can't put it on fucking YouTube because it got blocked in all countries. I want to say he's as cool as Justin. That's where I'm going with it. And Justin is my new hero, which makes that dude my new hero too. That was awesome.
Well, according to a recent survey by Match.com, 73% of women believe that chivalry is dead. And according to one of our next guests, she explains in her new op-ed, it's because women killed it.
Yeah. This isn't new. Man, that has been a joke for decades. I think in Dave Chappelle's first stand-up, the fucking exact line is... Women say chivalry's dead. Yeah, it's dead, and women killed it. That's like verbatim the fucking line from the bit, how he starts the fucking bit. Like, honestly, I'm amazed that that was a low percentage. This is a low percentage to me, 74%.
Suzanne Venker is a columnist and an author of The Alpha Female's Guide to Men and Marriage.
Anybody who describes themselves as an alpha female is not somebody that I would ever be willing to date. Not because they're a strong woman, because I know what that really means.
And joining her to discuss is Wendy Acefo, a professor at Johns Hopkins University and a Democratic strategist.
For those of you who thought that last part was ominous, the other one is who that really means. She's an alpha female.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Good morning.
Okay, so Suzanne, you wrote this op-ed. Wendy, I know you've read it. I've read it. And you compare a telegram that was sent to a woman right before she got married to a Facebook video.
I mean... I guess I could, I don't know. Let's see where it goes with this. We'll see where it goes with it.
The first one I want to read is back in the day. Back in 1954, your friend, her mother just recently died. Your friend was going through a memorabilia. She finds this telegram, and it says, this is the husband writing it to his soon-to-be wife.
Now, I would like to provide additional journalistic context. This is a quick segment. Ainsley only has so much time. She can only provide so much context. It isn't her fault as a journalist. It's just simply the fault of the fucking amount of time there is in a goddamn day. Right? I have limitless time, sort of. So I'm going to break this kind of down a little bit more for you. This is a telegram from 1954. It's a telegram. It's a telegram. You know how much a telegram cost back then? It was like $1.50. You know how much $1.50 was? That's like how much it cost to buy a horse. Right? So, you know what I mean? Like, this is not cheap shit. First of all, this is brand new fucking technology. 1954, more or less. More or less. But nevertheless, god damn it. Like, so you had to say exactly what you wanted the other person to fucking know. It was the time to do that kind of shit. This is like a Valentine's Day present. This is something a dude is sending to his woman before they're getting married. It's not to be expected to be an every goddamn day thing.
Darling, I shall be waiting for you at 8 with a lifetime of expectancy. My heart will be coming with you down the aisle. May God be with us tonight as we pray we will always be with him. Thank you for becoming my wife. My love forever yours, Henry. Then several days later, Suzanne, you saw on Facebook this video where this person was saying chivalry is harmful to both men and women.
Now, before we get into the because, I would like to provide additional context to this as well. I have here on my phone the chivalric code in medieval literature. We're going with the literature because it's easier to break down. It's not going to take fucking forever to explain what these medievally terms mean. So we're going with this, alright? Number 1. Duties to countrymen and fellow Christians. This is a Christian thing. This contains virtues such as mercy, hardly harmful to anybody, courage, which usually is harmful to the person with it, valor, again, usually harmful to the person with it, fairness, which I can't really think of as harmful to anybody, protection of the weak and the poor, and in the servanthood of the knight to his lord. Also remember, this is a code that was used by knights. These were the wealthy, noble class. These were people who had trained all of their lives in combat and war. They wanted to have some sort of normalcy in their lives, so, right? This also brings with it the idea of being willing to give one's life for another's, whether he would be giving his life for a poor man or his lord. Right? 2. Duties to God. This would contain being faithful to God, protecting the innocent, being faithful to the church, being the champion of good against evil, being generous and obeying God above the feudal lord. So the virtuous rules above the world-made rules, right? However you want to look at it. The 10 Commandments come first. They were knights. I don't know. Whatever. And 3. Right after duties to God. Duties to women. This is probably the most familiar aspect of chivalry. Is it? This would contain what is often called courtly love, which is the telegram. The idea that the knight is to serve a lady. Serve. And after her, all other ladies. Most especially in this category is a general gentleness and graciousness to all women. Like, it's not a lording strength over. It's not an oppression. The opening the door thing isn't to say, oh, you're so weak and pitiful, I have to get this for you. It's to say, I'm a nice person, let me get that for you. It's just being fucking nice. That's all it boils down to. There was a movie that came out with Denzel Washington. I haven't fucking gotten to see it yet. I can't remember the name of it. It came out not too long ago where he was like a lawyer or some shit like that. And he was doing a thing where he was talking to a whole group of people. And, he's like, why is it that these two ladies are standing and these two dudes are sitting in chairs next to him? And, you know, the one girl goes, that's sexist. And he goes, or polite. And I'm like, right? Denzel Washington is always in movies where he's really just blatantly explaining how shit fucking works. I don't know. He's an amazing guy. So, Denzel Washington movie. Yeah, I thought, I'm like, it's shit, that's all it is. It's not. You guys make up all the rest of that shit. You know that, right? you know that all the rest of that shit, you make it up in your heads. That's the sickness.
Because it reinforces this idea that women need to be helped or saved by a stronger man, and it takes away a woman's agency.
How is serving your woman taking away her agency? You're the serve. You serve. Fucking, like, you don't fucking. I don't. It's the sickness.
So you saw these two contrasts, and you decided to write the op-ed. Explain that a little for us.
Sure. So it just struck me as just, wow. I mean, the stark contrast between this beautiful letter that really moved me to seeing this message from this woman basically selling the same tired message that men have been hearing for decades, which is, I can do it by myself, I'm strong enough, you don't need to hold the door open for me, you don't need to pay my way, you don't need to, basically anything that's sort of traditionally male and female in terms of the courtship is just gone.
Like, and it's really disappointing. Like, it's what Henry Cavill was actually talking about, like chasing women, you know what I mean? Pursuing women, courting women, you know what I mean? Like, whatever terminology you want to use to it. It's not like he was talking about running a bitch down and fucking taking her. Like, you know, he's talking about courting women, trying to convince a woman that you're worth it, that you will make her life better. If only she would be with you, things will be so much better. Like that. And I don't think that that's a shitty goal to aspire to for a man. To be in such a good position in your life that you can have the fucking balls to tell some woman, I'll make your life even better just by being with me. And now look where we're at. Hey, you want to do it on your own? Fuck you. Do it on your own.
And after so many years of hearing that, my argument is that men have effectively said, okay, well, you said you don't want it, so I guess I'm not supposed to do it. And if I do it, then you're going to be insulted. So they're really lost and confused about what it is that women want.
I ain't lost and confused, man. I just don't fucking care anymore. Like, that's where I'm at. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of trying to figure it out. Like, I've gotten to that point in my existence. I'm tired of trying to figure it out. I'm tired of being sold a bill of goods and then finding out a couple of months in that I was sold a bill of goods. I don't even fucking care anymore. I'm just over it all, you know? Like, I just don't.
And I think women are just as confused because they've been sold this message that chivalry is bad or somehow destructive to women, when of course it's not at all.
And that's why it's the sickness. Because it shit spreads. One person's infected with it and they start thinking, you're holding the door for me. You think I'm weak. And it's like, no, bitch, I'm being fucking polite. Like, what the... Man. And then she tells other women, you don't think that's degrading? That she's saying essentially that you're weak? And then they go, I never thought of it like that. They go, oh, well, he's essentially saying you're weak, that you can't do it. And there it is, man. Now another person's infected, and then she goes and infects two friends, and then they infect two other friends, and fucking here we are.
And so we have a problem.
Wendy, what do you think? Are we to blame women?
I wouldn't go as far as to say that women kill chivalry.
Fair enough. I wouldn't say that women killed chivalry. I would say the sickness killed chivalry. Dun dun dun. Roll credits.
Whether you look at from Cardi B to Beyonce or working moms like myself or even countless others, what we have done is we have evolved the conversation of what it means to be a woman in today's society.
But evolve the conversation. You've evolved the definition. You've said, fuck the conversation. We've had the conversation. The conversation is, I want to do what I want to do. And that's just that. Conversation's over. And there you go. Like, evolved the conversation. That statement is ridiculous.
And what that means is, we're doing it all. And it basically means that men have to basically rise to the occasion to meet us where we are.
Fuck that, man. I got my own person. And I have a job. Right? And I have to perform at that job well in order to make enough money to live. And I have, side things that I try to do to try and make whatever side cash I just can whenever people are willing to just give it to me. And I do this because it's fun for me and because it keeps me from going insane. And then I have like my own private shit that I like to do. I've got friends that I like to hang out with and things that I like to do. And I understand that other people have all those things too, right? But like, I don't understand why it is I have to involve somebody else in the stress of my job. Like, I'll tell funny stories from work. I've got a couple. Had one today. Can't wait for tomorrow. And, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't want to, like, fucking, if you're going to put all that shit on me, your life, and then put on top of it fucking things that should be jointly done, that you've done already previously with somebody else, like a kid, or if you're just like, no, I expect to have children with you no matter what, it's like, okay, well, fuck, like, because you just want to have it all? Because I just want it? I just want to have it all? No. I got everything I want. I'm fine with what I got. I'd like to have a little bit more. But I would like to have that little bit more consist of a person who's wanting to enhance my existence by being a part of it. Who's wanting to do the rising tide raises all ship things. We become a joint unit together, and then we become a team. Like, it's no longer me versus the world, it's us versus the world. Two is better than one. Fuck yeah, like, and other things can be discussed down the road, but let's solidify fucking being a couple. And managing all of both of our lives together and trying to figure out a way in which to enmesh our lives into one single thing to where we have our friends, and then we have our jobs, and then we have, our things that we like to do with ourselves and whatnot and so on. Instead of having my shit, your shit, we have our things. I don't understand how that's unreasonable fucking desire, but 39, here I am.
We are not, the mothers of our past, and there was nothing wrong with that, but we are getting our arms involved in a lot of things, and we're busy doing and juggling millions of things.
Yeah, so why don't you calm the fuck down with all that shit, man? Like, god damn. I would love to fucking go sailing and climb mountains and tour the world and do all that, but I can't. Because I don't fucking really want to all that bad, but I'd love to do it, but I don't really want to. Like, I've thought about all that shit. Not all of you, some of you ladies, some of you, just fucking can't calm the fuck down with your bucket list. It's like, Jesus Christ. How are you even enjoying the moment when you're planning out the next 15?
So chivalry is not dead in the essence of we don't want men to open doors for us. But what we are saying is, you have to handle us and you have to handle our full-time job as well.
I know that some of you ladies hear a woman say that and you kind of agree with her in even the smallest possible way. But I want you to think about this one thing. She said, well, you just have to handle us and handle a full-time job. Let me ask you a question, ladies, those of you who are watching still. If a man, the most wonderful man in the world to you, said, look, I mean, you're going to have to handle me and a full-time job. How long would it take for you to not find him as attractive as you just did split seconds ago? You know what I mean? Like, you see it yet? The sickness? Like, really seriously consider those words from a man's perspective. You just gotta handle me and a full-time job.
Yeah, you make a good point in this op-ed, Suzanne. You talk about how...
You notice how I'm conflicted about Ainsley. I love Ainsley to death. I do. She's a very sweet lady. I really like Ainsley a lot. I'm conflicted about Ainsley. I'm not going to go into it. You know, that's between me and Ainsley. I don't want to talk about it publicly because I don't feel that that's appropriate. But I'm conflicted about Ainsley, but I do love her to death. And I love that she just, you know, like, So, in your article, you, like, just even fucking didn't, like, no follow-up to that. No, what the fuck? Like, no, not just, okay, moving on. I do love Ainsley.
It's not that we can't open our own doors. It's not that we can't pay for our own food. But you say that does it show a sign of respect, or like why is it important to let a woman do those things?
Look, man, you really want to open the door for yourself? I don't care. I'm just doing it to be nice. If you consider it to be nicer for me to make you open your own door for you, even if I'm at the door first, even if you're, I don't know, lagging fucking behind because it takes you forever to get out of the goddamn car, and I'm at the fucking door and I'm sitting there holding it open and I'm going through it anyways, maybe I consider it to be fucking rude if I just go and walk through and just let the door, like, whatever.
Right. So what's been lost in this whole, 40-year experiment, really, or progress, however you want to define it, is the yin and yang, or the dance between women and men. And men and women now are completely confused and lost about who's supposed to do what, who wants what.
Again, I am not lost. I am not confused. I figured it out, and I'm not playing the game anymore.
And what women specifically are confused about is men, and how that is in their DNA to provide and protect women. That is who they are. That is their identity.
Yes! That's my identity. Can I claim that? Can I claim that, like, masculinity and chivalry and just, like, being polite? Can I say that, like, being politeness, can I claim politeness as part of masculinity? I think I just did, right? I identify as a polite man. I am no longer a sad puppy. You heard it here first, folks.
And we've essentially ripped it out of them. And when they become unmoored, I mean, if you don't let them do what's in them to do, you're going to disrupt that dance.
And then we become sad puppies. But I am a polite man. I just came out.
And so what I'm trying to say is, look, masculinity and femininity are wonderful things in and of themselves. And when they work in tandem, sparks fly. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome for the first, like, couple months, and then I don't know what happens. All I ever do is just react to it. At least that's the way it always feels to me. I don't fucking know.
but we're not allowing that to happen because we are infused with this message about equality, which this idea that men and women are the same when they are not.
Yes! The different but equal thing is bullshit, man. Different but different. That's what we are. We are different but different. Like, we're just different people. Like, we're just different fucking people. Saying that we're different types of people in the way that we think, in the way that we act, in the way that we behave, in the way that we relate to situations, saying all of that doesn't mean that we are different in our capabilities. It doesn't mean that we are different in our usefulness. It doesn't mean that we're different in our opportunities, or that we should be different in our opportunities or anything like that. It just means we're fucking different. Let's just acknowledge the fact that we're different, but that we can do the same things. You know, like, why can't we do that? I don't understand it.
And so that gesture of holding the door open, I was just using as one example, is not men trying to oppress women. It's they want to please them. They want to take care of them. They want to show them honor, really. And
yes!
We knew this in the past. Everybody knew this, and this has gotten completely lost in the last 40 years. You can see that in that telegram, how deeply that was felt and understood. And women today want that. You read that telegram, who would not want that, right?
Yeah.
Man, it's this sickness. You can see how far it's spread over the last 40 years, right? We're telling the same story here, me and this lady. I've just quantified it down to a medical term. The sickness. I mean, and you can see how it has spread to where this is the fucking thing now.
But how are we going to get there if we? Yeah, I mean, it's just
Wendy,
we've got to get back
I'll
to
give you the last
understanding.
Gotta get back to understanding. We gotta learn our roots. Get back to the basics. Learn our history, for fuck's sake. Find out what actually things mean.
Wendy, do you think if we're all, I've heard it said that we are created the same, I mean, we are both equally as important, but created differently in our needs and our wants.
Right.
Do you agree with that?
Now, see, this is Ainsley quoting the Bible and then trying to suppress a smile because she's like, yeah, that's like a big fucking question for Ainsley because it's a Bible question. Like, do you agree with the Bible? Like, so Ainsley's got a lot of that chivalry in her too, or at least that time period.
I agree with that to some extent, and as a wife and as a mother of 2 little boys, I believe that the strength of a woman is also what makes men respect us even more.
My only question is, in what way do you define strength?
We are not necessarily damsels in distress here. We can open doors for ourselves, we can do things for ourselves, and we welcome men to also open doors for us as well.
You see, I'm not playing the fucking game. Right? Either we come to a social fucking agreement that men opening the door for women is politeness, and that men can accept a woman opening the door for them. It's happened to me before, and Jesus Christ, it's like, whoa, so weird. And I think we can understand that a man can open the door for another man. I mean, I've done it a lot. It's crazy when you do it. I don't know. It's like, but it's fucking politeness. Can't we just accept politeness?
But it's okay for a woman to be strong. It's okay for a woman to be independent. That in no way negates a man's masculinity at all.
You know what independent means. Independent means not needing anybody else. You don't need anybody else. So, fuck it. Be on your own. If you're so all fire fucking independent, be on your fucking own. And just don't inflict yourself on other fucking people. Be independent. Like, look, we're all capable of being independent. But when you're in a relationship on somebody, you should get to a point wherein you begin to depend upon the aid of the other person involved. Like, that's how you know it's working. When you get to a point where you really need the other person in your life because they've become essential now. I was like 26 when I got my first cell phone. The technology had been out for a decade. I was 26 when I got my first cell phone. Because I didn't fucking care about it. I didn't want to be strapped to a fucking cell phone. I didn't like what I saw going on. And I didn't want to be a part of it. Because it wasn't that useful of a technology. It was a phone back then. I could play Breakout on my first phone. Whoa. Like, but now, I have a personal computer and gaming unit. And it has become essential to my life. There is not a day that goes by that I am not on my phone for something. Why can't I have a woman in my life like that? That I can sit there and say, I can be independent if I want to go through the struggle again of it. But having her in my life makes my life so much easier and better. She's like my cell phone. I can't be without her. I have to be around her every day because she helps me that much. And I'm the same way with her. At least I hope she feels that way about me. Whatever. Fuck it. This is why. This is why. This is why it's like I don't give a shit. Because it's like fucking whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right, ladies. Thank you.
I couldn't agree more.
All three of them, man, just make me laugh. I love Ainsley to death. The other lady's fine too, and the other one is, I'm sure she's a very nice lady.
All right. Wendy, Suzanne, great to see you. We'll just have to have you back. We'll continue the conversation later.
Okay.
Thanks, ladies.
So, for the men out there who are watching to this point, I know it's been very funny. And I know that there's probably been I'm sure some of you might have felt a weight off of your chest to just have somebody else say it out loud. God damn it, what the fuck, right? Like, I get it. But this is what I want you to take away from it. Don't think of chivalry as being something that's dead or useless or that people don't want in the world. It is. It's very important. It's very important for people in general, for all people, to aspire to the code of chivalry. I think that we've come to an age wherein it's no longer a men thing. I think it should be a people thing. I think we drop the third part of it and we just leave the other two. The generosity and being a good person and loyalty and honor and duty. And let's just keep all that, and then we'll just apply it broadly to everybody, and we'll call it being fucking polite. And how about we just start being fucking polite to each other? Right? Now, pull our heads out of our fucking asses. Like, that's what I think men should take away from it. Just be chivalrous to everybody. Because everybody appreciates just people being nice to them. So just be nice to everybody. Like, right? Don't give up on it. Just apply it broadly. Right? If they don't like kindness, give them more kindness. Kill them with kindness. Hold that door for them until they fucking die. However that works. But whatever. Just be nice to everybody. And for you ladies, guess what? You want equality? That means chivalry now applies to you. We've dropped the third one. We're not going to do duty to men or whatever. Even though, honestly, to have those things worded the same way, but just swapping the genders, service to men, service to women, have it apply broadly to both genders, but we're serving each other at that point. Like, that's where you get the help. What the fuck ever. Nevertheless, we're dropping the third one because otherwise none of you will fucking accept it ever. We'll drop the third one. Just be nice to people. God damn it. Just be respectful and honor and loyalty and duty and all that shit. Responsibility, self-control, these things, all of it. You want equality? Then this shit applies to you now. You don't realize that equality isn't a freeing of responsibility. It's an acceptance of more.